Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do your January the 5th just for today in a meditation. Let's go ahead and get into that meditation. The title of the meditation for today, Recovery at Home. We can enjoy our families in a new way and may become a credit to them instead of an embarrassment or a burden. That is coming from our basic text, page 104. We're doing a great job in recovery, aren't we? We go to a meeting every day. We spend every evening with our friends in the fellowship, and every weekend we dash off to a service workshop. But if things are falling to pieces at home, we're not doing so great after all. We expect our families to understand. After all, we're not using drugs anymore. Why don't they recognize our progress? Don't they understand how important our meetings, our service, and our involvement with the fellowship are? Our families will not appreciate the change NA is working in our lives unless we show them. If we rush off to a meeting the same way we rushed off to use drugs, what has changed? If we continue to ignore the needs and desires of our partners and children, failing to accept our responsibilities at home, we aren't practicing these principles in all our affairs. We must live the program everywhere we go, in everything we do. If we want the spiritual life to be more than a theory, we have to live it at home. When we do this, the people we share our lives with are sure to notice the change and be grateful that we've found NA. Just for today, I will take my recovery home with me. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the We version of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please, and thank you. So we're talking about recovery at home. We're talking about applying these spiritual principles in all our affairs, including our home life, including with our partners, including with our children, right? Those closest to us. And probably 9 times out of 10, those that we did the most damage to, other than ourselves, in our active addiction. There's a few of us now. Granted, let me just put this disclaimer out there. There are a few of us who have had children clean, who have children that do not know us. Hi. They have no experience with us not being available. However, the majority of us, that's a big statement, but quite a few of us have this experience of having lived at least 2 lives with our families. And it makes a valid point. If we're rushing off to our service work or rushing off to meetings or rushing off to fellowship with people and to conventions like I'm doing this weekend, right? If we're doing that the same way that we rushed off to get our next high, how would they know the difference? I really love this piece here. If we're not taking care of our home responsibilities, everyone has, most people have a home. I mean, there's some of us that are unhoused, right? But for us that have places that we live in, apartments, roommates, homes, right? Requires upkeep. And a lot of us think, you know, the fact that we got clean is a badge of honor. And it's beautiful. It is. It is. It is. But what happens after we get clean is just as important. And unfortunately, many of us, we slack in so many other areas in our lives that the people that are closest to us, they're not impressed with the fact that we stop using. And some will even have the audacity to say, I liked you better when you were using. At least then you had an excuse for your negligence. Totally drop mic. That is so painful to hear. I can't imagine hearing it. But I know some people that have and have shared with me intimately about the effects of those kind of statements. I like you better when you were using. At least there was a reason why you behaved the way you did. But now it's clearly evident you're just a jerk, right? And they say something else, but I want to be proper, right? So our families should know that we've changed. And if they're still saying, or saying things about us in a sense that shows that they don't really see the change, hopefully our ears are open and hopefully our hearts are pierced enough to start analyzing how we need to behave differently and make that change. Make the change. Recovery is not always a bowl of cherries. Sometimes it has some pits in it. And we're not promising that it's happy-go-lucky, once you get clean. No, nobody promised anyone a rose garden. We're not promising that. We're just saying that the promise is true. Any addict can stop lose the desire to use. Let's say that right. Lose the desire to use and find a new way to live. Any addict. But not just any addict will. You did. You did. And that's a gift, isn't it? That's a gift, right? That we're actually in a position where we can make choices today and the drug isn't making the choice for us. Okay, so you need to do better at home. Okay, I do too. Right? So let's just do it. Let's just do it. I don't like talking about different apps that you can download to help you, but there's some apps that you can download. If you find that you have ADHD or you have OCD or, whatever, you're struggling in your day-to-day life, there are apps that can help you remember to do certain things, right? My boys, they have an app on their phone, and I have it too, called Green Light, and it allows them to have a debit card with their face on their debit card. It's amazing watching them purchase their little games and use it on Amazon and stuff like that, right? But the point is that it lists their chores by day. And as they tick their chores off, there's an allowance that accumulates. And when I've reviewed the chores, then I release the allowance. There's been some tough weeks where I haven't given any allowance, but I do make up for it. The point is that there are apps that can help us to do better, to actually see recovery at home. Hmm. We are so fortunate. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. Listen, I am going up to the Chicago Regional Convention. It's already started. It's this weekend. If you see me, say hello. I would love to meet some of you. I'm going to this convention. I'm taking our recovery house where the men stay, our home for men. We're taking a big old van and we're loading everyone up with all their stuff and we're going to the convention. And it's going to be amazing. So I want for you to have a beautiful day on purpose and let's recover everywhere we go. My name is Mighty Stream and I will be talking to you tomorrow.